Hello YouTube, Elmas is Show here, and I bring you guys today a really good, kind of old Wi-Fi battle, and I forgot that I even had this on my 3DS until earlier today, and it was a really good match against Dudimus. So of course, if you guys do enjoy the battle, then make sure to hit the like button down below. Also, make sure to answer the question of the day. And this battle, not only was it good, but it was definitely interesting, because if you saw from my opponent's team, he has nothing to take Earthquakes from my Garchomp. So I knew going into this match that my Scarf Garchomp would be most likely my win condition. It's just a matter of me being able to wear down the Pokemon that could be able to take a hit, which is mainly Steelix, Ferrothorn, and Haxorus. So he's going to be leading off with this Tyranitar. I'm going to be leading off with my Specs Magnezone. I should be faster than this Tyranitar unless he's Scarfed. Even then, I don't think they typically carry Earthquake, so I'm able to outspeed him, and I Volt Switch directly into my Garchomp, not fearing a potential Ice Beam, because I was expecting him to most likely want to go for the Rocks or the Fire Blast. As I pull a Double Switch this turn into my Magnezone, I'm going to predict him to want to bring in the Ferrothorn, knowing that Ferrothorn takes on Garchomp 9 times out of 10 one-on-one, unless they do carry a Fire Blast, which I don't, because I do have Choice Specs Magnezone, and Ferrothorn just dies. It's not very often that you see a Ferrothorn O-code, but this is one of the instances where it did happen. This, however, does give him a free switch into his Heatran. Considering that I am locked into Hidden Power Fire, I will be forced to switch out, as I'm able to bring in my Latios. As long as he doesn't burn me, I should be fine, because I do actually carry Surf on this Latios. But as you see there, he does get the 30% burn, which isn't too bad. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, so I'm just gonna stay in. I'm gonna go for the Surf. I guess he stayed in thinking that I wouldn't be able to touch him, which normally from what I've seen, Latios don't tend to carry Surf, but the reason why I have Surf is because I have Magnezone with Hidden Power Fire for Ferrothorn, so Surf is nice to be able to hit Heatran, as I get off a solid 50-60% amount of damage on the Heatran. I'm going to take this opportunity just to go for the Defog, because I want to be able to get off the Stealth Rocks from my side of the field. Plus, I know Draco Meteor won't do much to him, and if I go for another Surf, there's a chance he could switch into his Greninja or something along those lines. But then I guess that's where going for Draco would come in handy. I don't know, either way though, I just wanted to get rid of Rocks because I thought that would be more beneficial to me later in this match, especially because I do actually carry a Talonflame on my team. As I bring in my Garchomp, I'm going to go straight for the Earthquake, hoping that this will be enough to knock out Tyranitar, which thankfully it is, and because he had nothing on his team that is levitating, I knew that Earthquake was definitely my better play to go for. As he brings in his Haxorus, unfortunately at full HP, and Earthquake only does about 70% max damage to Haxorus, so I'm going to be forced to switch out. As I bring in my Heatran, he actually pulls a double switch into his own Heatran, and if I had just been aggressive and stayed in with Garchomp, I would have been able to get rid of his Heatran, preventing him from having a switch into my own Heatran, and then I could have freely spammed Lava Plume to get burns here and there to further wear down his team. As it turns out that he has the Taunt, which I was really not expecting. I tried to get on my Stealth Rock so I could get off that residual damage on his team, but because I don't carry Earth Power on this Heatran, I'm going to be forced to switch out. As it turns out that he has 2 Stealth Rockers. I was not at all expecting this, and it actually really helps him out, because now my Talonflame is going to automatically lose 50% of his HP when I switch it in. And because this Slowbro is Mega Crowbro, I'm not going to Mega Evolve, just on the options that I do have an opportunity to set up later in the match. So what I'm going to do is just fire off a Scald. I do get pretty lucky and I get a crit. I'm not too sure how much this crit matters in the long run of the battle, although it does make Heatran less of an issue to me now, but I'm pretty positive that it still would have been a 2-hit KO, just judging for how much damage it did. And I really have no reason to not go for another Scald this turn. As I catch the incoming Greninja, I don't get a burn, but it's fine, because all I really needed to do was just wear it down a little bit. So what I'm going to do this turn is just fodder off my Magnezone to a potential Dark Pulse, but he actually ends up making a very nice play, predicts me to switch out, and he's going to go for the U-turn and get off a decent bit of damage on my Magnezone. I was not at all expecting him to go for the U-turn, because normally Greninjas nowadays don't carry that, as he's going to be able to U-turn into Haxorus. I make a bit of a questionable play here, and my thought was that he's gonna go for the Dragon Claw Outrage, predicting me to switch out to my Talonflame because Earthquake is way too obvious. No, he blatantly goes straight for the Earthquake, as this now allows me to get a free switch into my Talonflame, and banking on the fact that he was Choice Scarfed, I decide to actually go for a Swords Dance, predicting him to bring in the Mega Steelix, as that is exactly what happens. And now I'm in a solid situation where I'm +2, I'm adamant, max attack, I have the Flare Blitz. I was thinking, okay, I have the game won here. All I have to do is Flare Blitz the Steelix. I get another free kill as well. If it's Heatran, I'll live the recoil damage. But it lived. Mega Steelix is way too bulky. Because as I said, I'm adamant. Max attack. If I was Jolly, okay, I could understand why Mega Steelix would live. But it's just, that completely baffled me when it happened. And here I bring in my Heatran. Now this may seem odd, but the main reason why I want to get on my Stealth Rocks is because in order for me to actually win this match, I need to get off about 24% of damage on the Haxorus, if I'm not mistaken. So what I'm going to do is get on my rocks. As he finishes me off with the Earthquake, I can now bring in my Garchomp. I really have no reason to not just go straight for the Earthquake. So I'm going to be able to finish him off as he brings in the Haxorus. After one Stealth Rock switching, he can still take an Earthquake. So I am going to be forced to switch out into my Slowbro, which at this point is my last Pokemon alongside Garchomp. And because I am max defense, max HP, as long as he doesn't crit me with his Outrage, I should be fine after a Mega Evolve, because I will be able to take another one and then get off more prior damage with the Scald. So thankfully he doesn't get a crit. I will be able to Mega Evolve, and because Mega Slowbro's ability is Shell Armor, if I'm not mistaken, or is it Battle Armor, the one that doesn't allow you to get critted, I know that I will be able to live this next Outrage and in return get off that extra bit of needed damage with Scald to pretty much ensure me the victory. I don't get a burn, but it would have been nice if I did. But at this point it didn't really matter. All I needed was that extra bit of Scald damage. And now at this point my Scarf Garchomp outspeeds his entire team, and I pretty much knock out what he has left with Earthquake. So he's going to switch out. I believe he does fodder off his Heatran here, as I'm going to be able to finish him off. At this point, the only way that he can win the match is if he has Scarf Greninja, which I was actually really terrified of, because I believe I saw Fufu do it, who had a Scarf Greninja. So I was really fearing that he could be Scarfed. Thankfully though, he's not Scarfed. I'm able to outspeed him, knock him out with the Earthquake, and at this point, even if his Haxorus is Scarfed, which is what I was thinking that it was throughout this whole match, I will be able to easily outspeed it. And after the 2 Stealth Rocks damage and the Skull damage, I ensure that my Earthquake will be able to knock him out. Even with minimum damage, it does about 51%, and he is below 50%. So that is going to be the narrow 1-0 victory in my favor. So yeah, that was definitely a fun, crazy battle. The fact that he had 2 Stealth Rockers really threw me off guard, and then Mega Steelix living a +2 Adamant Talonflame's Brave Bird was really surprising as well. And just, yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy the battle. Make sure to hit the like button down below and to answer the question of the day. And with that being said, guys, I will see y'all tomorrow. So thank you for watching. Later, everybody.